Hello and welcome to the December 21st, 2025 episode of Nick's News. I am your host Nick, brought to you by Some Budget Studios. That's right, we're putting money into this project of ours. We're live every Sunday, and I thank you all so much for tuning in or catching the replay on the Nick's News YouTube channel. This is a program dedicated... I am on that part. Darn it. This is a program dedicated to bringing good news to counter all the bad news that we're bombarded with on a daily basis, with the hope of bringing a little bit of joy back to the world. Several of the articles that we go over are pulled from sites like Industry, Tap, Live Science, Positive.news, and GoodGoodGood.co, but we appreciate everything that's sent in by you, the Nick's Newsies. Maybe we need to change the intro for the Chat and Chills, because it is a little different considering we're not reading articles, because tonight's special broadcast is once again a Chat and Chill. It's just going to be a chill hour of chatting and answering any questions that y'all might have. We've got a full house coming in. Very cool. Hello, Joey. Hello, Nico. Hello, Trashman. Hello, Tuppers or Uppers. I wish that it would show names, but of course YouTube, for the purposes of making sure that there aren't, a billion scammers and bots, they've changed it up. So, but I am happy to have you all with us. So, producer Donna, do we want to talk about our news brews for tonight?
Trick. I'll write that one down, Patrick.
Oh, it's Pat. Oh, and gosh, we're getting everybody in here. Very cool.
That's awesome. We love having everybody in here.
Mm-hmm. All right, news brews. I'll start first. I am continuing the arduous ABV climb, and it's a memorable venture, to say the least. Like, just the beers I've been having, getting higher and higher with ABV. I can't wait for y'all to see what I have next Sunday, but tonight is going to be a good one. Because there's a lot of memorable moments throughout life, some good and some bad. Pipeworks Brewing Company wants to remind you of the bittersweet times with barrel-aged Last Kiss. This is a wee heavy ale, clocking in at 15.7% ABV, high octane, and it is aged in maple syrup and bourbon barrels. I am a massive sucker for maple syrup, so this is going to be a good one, and you never forget your last kiss. Producer Donna, what are you having?
Oh, sorry.
No, you're fine.
No, I'm so used to the delay.
Oh.
So taking a verbal cue, I was actually watching. Oh, there's that can. It's really cool. I am having what I'm calling a peanut butter cup. I made a cup of hot cocoa and added far too much Carolans peanut butter Irish cream. It's kind of tingly when you get close to it to smell it. It's 17% ABV.
Very nice. Very nice.
It tastes dangerous. It's too smooth.
So, because it's a wee heavy Scotch ale for me, I'm going to be enjoying it in my my Harpoon Tulip glass, special edition. Don't have to use the Balisong bottle opener, so we'll just blow the gain on the audio. Patty's got Bapple. Nice. Uh-oh. Producer Donna just posted something in the chat. Let's get into the theatrics of a 5-minute pour. Wow, this is dark for a wee heavy. These are not normally this dark.
Oh, that's pretty, though.
Wow. I am not used to my wee heavies being dark beers like that.
It looked like it was thicker at the end, too.
It was a little bit. Holy crap. That is a very dark wee heavy. Strange. All right, let's get into our shout outs. Tesla Tree Service is an environmentally friendly tree service in South Jersey with years of experience, not just with trees, but getting stuck animals out of them. This week they had another 2 rescues. Please check, it says checked out their Facebook. We're going to have to change that in post. That's okay. Please check out their Facebook page and show Steve and the crew some love with likes and shares on their content. We've included their links down below in the description, as well as a link to the International Directory of Cat Rescuers. To Steve and everybody at Tesla Tree Service, cheers.
We're including the international directory in case you're not in the New Jersey area and do need help.
That's true. Thank you, Producer Donna. Dirty Rogue says, another beer which consumes all light. And oh my god, it just lit my chest on fire. Oh my gosh. Whew. It's a big beer.
Well, it's a 15, so yeah.
Yeah.
Almost a 16.
Wow. That is smooth as can be. And then, like scotch, my chest lights on fire. That's really good. All right. Next shout out. Spencer from SB Mowing has announced the creation of a non-profit charitable organization called SB Mow It Forward. At SB Mow It Forward, our mission is to lend a hand where it's needed most. At the same time, we're committed to empowering future entrepreneurs in the lawn and landscape industry by offering the tools, guidance, and support they need to launch and grow successful businesses. It's about more than just lawn care. It's about building community, creating opportunity, and inspiring the next generation to serve. We've included the links to their socials and donation page down below in the description. Like and share so you can get the word out for SB Mowing and the SB Mow It Forward project. The more people who know about it, the more people can be helped. To Spencer and everybody at SB Mow It Forward, cheers. Oh, you can practically chew this beer. Oh, here comes the fire. Oh. Oh. Ooh. News quote. When everything goes to hell, the people who stand by you without flinching, they are your family. That quote comes from Jim Butcher, who was born in 1971 and is an American author best known for the Dresden Files, Codex Alera, and Cinderspire's book series. And I really like that quote. I think, Producer Donna, didn't you say this is the one you wanted us to go with between those two?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wrote. That's the one that feels right for this week.
Yep. When everything goes to hell, the people who stand by you without flinching, they are your family. Thank you very much, Jim Butcher.
Considering that after Christmas, half of us won't be speaking to our families.
That is also true. Christmas is a great time to come together and realize why sometimes we never come together. Bug update. Something looks a little different here in the office, huh? Like the bugs might have outgrown the little table that I used to have there. Elmira's snoozing, which is pretty normal for a chat and chill episode. Ripley's got a full rump and has been pretty relaxed, so it's nice to see them just kind of chilling in their tank. The cuddle bugs are actually quite noisy tonight. They're quite vocal. It's neat to hear. And then Sue seems to be a bit of an introvert in his adultage. If he doesn't have a reason to leave his home, he ain't gonna. So, thanks, Sue. Oh, who's that? Well, that's different. Must be nothing. Let's get into our stuff and things. How about those stuff and that things, huh? It was stuff and things and other things and more stuff. Like that thing. What's that thing? That's a thing. Does anybody want to know about that thing?
You may as well introduce him.
Does anybody in the chat want to know about that thing right there? That little thing? Wonder what that thing is. Look at that thing. Look at that thing. Look at it. Just look at that thing. That
You
thing
may
right
as well
there.
introduce him.
So, I had to rearrange the room a little bit because I went and got another tank. Why did I need to get another tank? Sue is back there. So who's that? It is definitely a thing. So back when I bought Sue, and again, Sue is an Asian forest scorpion. Sue is a very big Asian forest scorpion. But what I was actually on the lookout for was an emperor scorpion. It's very hard to get your hands on them if you don't go to expos. There's not a lot of importing going on, and local breeders just don't exist for. Man, the camera keeps really changing the lighting, doesn't it? That's like the third time I've noticed it. We're going to have to change up our light settings for sure. Or actually, if I just tap this, I'll bet I can fix it. There we go. So that should even out the lighting for the rest of it. So Pat says, I'm going to guess Bob. So, last week, not this previous week that we just got through, but the week before that, before I went on a little vacation, I stopped into a Pet Supplies Plus that's right by my house, and it's where I go to get crickets for all the bugs. Because they're the only ones that sell tropical house crickets, which are the ones that I like to feed the bugs. Check out our Instagram on Tuesday if you want to see a couple pictures of those. And I go in the back to go and, stand around and look at the different tanks and the little odds and ends that they've got at the Pet Supplies Plus. And they've got this tank. And on the name of the tank, written on the tank, is Wicked Emperor Scorpion. And I'm like, nah. Because a lot of times folks will say that they have Emperor Scorpions, and they turn out to be Asian forest scorpions. I've actually encountered that before, so there's some very distinct telltale differences between the two species, but since it's easier to get Asian forest scorpions, they just try to pass him off. And I'm like, nah, it can't be one. So I went on vacation, and I came back, and I thought, what if it is an Emperor Scorpion? So I call him up. Hey, do you still have that Emperor Scorpion? Yep, we still got it. Nobody wants it. Well, that might change. I did some research, make sure I knew the difference between the Asian forest scorpion and the Emperor Scorpion, and I go over and, like Werner Herzog from The Mandalorian, I'm like, I would like to see the baby. And they go and pull some of the bark away, and he is spicy as hell. But it is an Emperor Scorpion. So this new tank right here houses our new Emperor Scorpion, who I have named Little John. Now, why
you have to sing the song.
I will sing the song, but first they need to know where Little John came from. And it's not for the rapper Little John. It was because I'd seen a bunch of clips on YouTube from the animated Robin Hood movie. And all I could think in my head for some reason was Angry Sue and Little John running through the forest, eating all the crickets and fucking up my room. So, welcome to the bug room, Little John, the Emperor Scorpion, who will actually get bigger than Sue. So, I have that to look forward to. All right, that clears things up with the new bug. So if you see a little black scorpion crawling around in this tank, put up a scorpion emote or say Little John in the chat. If you see a big scorpion crawling in the back there, by all means, say Sue. Pat is correct. He is just a little guy. He is an immature, a very young Emperor Scorpion, so he has a lot of growing to do. Were you going to say something, Producer Donna?
Nah.
Oh, okay.
Nope, you're covering it. You got it. He's a very active little guy, which is neat. It's neat seeing him running around, and it's fun with um your interactions with him. Like the other day when he jumped, and you just absolutely went ape shit because he
Yeah.
hops.
I've never seen. So we were. Was it while we were recording TikToks?
Yeah,
So we were recording TikTok. So his first debut technically is a TikTok.
yeah, on Christmas Day.
Yeah, the Christmas Day TikTok. If you check out our TikToks on Christmas Day, you're going to see him walking around in there. He hopped, though, and sadly we didn't catch that on video. I've never seen a scorpion hop. Like, he straight up jumped. And it was like, I don't know they can do that.
Yeah, it's adorable now, but wait till he's the size of your hand.
I, I'd rather not. No, no, like a proud parent, my child will never grow up. Never. I'll never have to worry about it.
Yeah, and then the other day when we were playing D&D and Ripley scared the crap out of you by making yet another new noise.
Yes, Ripley tends to come up with new noises now to freak me out, and it sucks that they're very loud and like right here, like right in front of Little John's tank. So Pat says he has all that youthful vigor. He really does. All right.
Now, does Sue seem to be having any issues with him?
No, Sue's been just as active or inactive. Actually, the other day on Friday, I took a day off, so I was pretty much just in here for most of the day chilling, and I got to see that Sue, despite being nocturnal, Sue actually comes out a lot earlier than I thought. And was chilling in his hide the whole time, but he was out. He was like active in his hide, so I was kind of surprised by that.
Good.
But he doesn't seem spooked by Little John at all. Not like when Elmira's out and Sue wants absolutely nothing to do with anything. But now this table
Right.
is actually longer by another 2 feet, and I've got Elmira all the way over here, like right by me. So hopefully this distance, if Sue was getting spooked because they could smell Elmira, hopefully the distance is far enough now that we won't have to worry about that. And maybe Sue will come out and grace us with his gigantic presence. Who knows? Do
Well,
we...
with
Hmm?
Stu spending so much time in his hide, he's not beating up your plants.
That's true. The plants are actually... I've had to clip them back a little bit.
All right, before we move on, have you guys got any questions about the bugs?
Keeping an eye on the chat.
Okie doke. So, how have the rest of you been?
Joe asks, do they bug you? They don't bug me at all, Joe. I actually really like bug husbandry. I find them absolutely fascinating. It's so interesting to watch them, living in these little worlds that I've built. I try my best to make bioactive homes for them too that are similar to what their normal conditions would be like. So it's really cool.
So,
Good
how are you
question.
guys doing? It's been awfully quiet this week. You guys all okay?
Nico got to order a couple new swords for LARP. That's awesome, Nico.
That is awesome.
Pat says, I'd be scared if they were bugging your electronics. Pat. Dirty Rogue has the next week off. Fantastic. It's a great time to have off, that's for sure.
I'm actually taking mostly 2 weeks off.
Good.
Mostly.
Pat says, I've been doing good, recovering from hurting my foot, looking at LARP gear as my wallet cries. Joe says, I'm freshly unemployed, but threw in, it's fine. I will trust you on that one, Joe. Kai says, I still have to get new LARP garb for Zoo. You've got plenty of time. LARPs aren't going to start back up until May of 2025 or 2026, so there's plenty of time if anybody's out there looking to get new garb.
Yeah, 'tis the season to start screwing up what year it is.
I know, right? And then they're going to make... I actually fill out checks for a couple of things. Usually for, like, any very large payments, I do checks on them. And I love how, like, for the first 3 months, they're like, please put down the full date. And then it's around that time that I finally stop screwing it up, so... Pat says, I can't give myself time, I'll procrastinate it away. Joe says, infecting my nephew with the LARP virus. Charlie says, orale. I think that that's a Spanish word. I don't know, because I don't speak Spanish very well. This beer is huge.
Charlie?
Holy crap.
What?
Hmm?
Oh, your beer. Okay.
Yeah, this beer is... Oh my gosh. Yole madre, I need to work with you on pronunciation, says Charlie. Pat asks, what does it taste like? So the maple syrup is definitely there. Scotch ales or wee heavy ales tend to have a lot of like caramel or like toffee. And then there's kind of this acidity that's like peat. It's really interesting, and it can really add a bite to the beer. They tend to be pretty boozy too, like 9% average. This one at 15.7 is definitely pushing the envelope. But because of the barreling this one went through, it's really there. The maple syrup it's very syrupy, like feeling, and then it's also just very sweet maple syrup up front. And the barrel, the bourbon barrel's coming in on the finish for sure. There's like some like oak and a lot of char, which is nice. Nico says, good friends, good times. And Pat is now salivating at my explanation of the beer. The biggest thing is when this bite is hitting. I've had a lot of high gravity beers. I mean, I've had beers that are almost twice the ABV of this, and they don't have that same burn like a spirit. Scotch ales are really good at mimicking that. So that bite is there. Well, Producer Donna, do we want to get into the questions that folks sent in?
We can. Do you guys in chat have anything you want to ask before we get to the other questions that people have sent in advance?
Which, thank you all very much for sending us some stuff in that we can go over on the chat and chill.
Most of what I've got are, again, from people who watch the VOD, don't get to tune in. Or what's your favorite dinosaur? Okay.
Yep, I saw that. Producer Donna, what's your favorite dinosaur?
Archaeopteryx.
Is that technically a dinosaur?
Yes. Archaeopteryx, yeah.
Yeah, the
It's a
little
little
feathered
one.
bird-looking creepy thing.
Yeah, it was one of the first feathered dinosaurs that we've ever found.
Yeah, it looks like a
And it's
kobold
fun to
with
say.
feathers. Oh, hey, that's Nico's too. That's cool.
It's pictures you always see of them. It's like a very fierce chicken. But, you just don't want to face that little fucker if it shows up.
Right. Mine is probably Utah Raptor. It's something else to think. So, like, obviously when you watch Jurassic Park, if you watch the first one ever, you kind of get thrown off by the fact that Velociraptor was the size of a turkey. And what's depicted in the movie is more like Deinonychus. But to think that there was a raptor that was like today's grizzly bear, and that is Utah Raptor, that is really cool to me. So I really like Utah Raptor. And what'd be funny is if, like Archaeopteryx, if it maybe the raptors didn't have feathers, but if it had like the proto feathers, so when it gets upset, it just sort of like poof balls.
Or dances like a prairie chicken.
Or dances like a prairie chicken. Charlie likes Brachiosaurus.
You guys have got some great ones. What's the rest of you say?
Pat likes Ankylosaurus.
Yes, Ankylosaurus is awesome.
It is true. The big old hammer tail.
Mm-hmm.
I think Charlie, yeah, if Utah Raptor puffs itself up like an owl. A grizzly bear-sized raptor puffing itself up like an owl. I will just be done with life.
Well, there you go. There's the origin of the owl bear.
Oh, it's a Utah raptor. It's just a Utah raptor.
Brachiosaurus, always a favorite.
Yep, that's a cool
How about
one.
the rest of you guys? Favorite dinosaurs?
Oh, I think I see him in the back there. Yep, he's waggling his claws.
Oh, up on the log, yeah.
Yeah, he's up on the log. Nico says, Ankylo is probably my second favorite. Yes, so cool. Love the tail and big shell. Pat says, Therizinosaurus with its big-ass claws. Debuted in Jurassic World Dominion, I think. Showed off a Therizinosaurus, which was actually it was an herbivore? So why it's got gigantic sickle claws is anybody's guess. Dirty Rogue likes Triceratops. Charlie said, is that the new baby? Yep, there he is. There he is, climbing around.
Charlie's coming into view.
Yep, Little John. Kai says, Dilophosaurus. It looks stupid. I agree. Also, considering we have no paleontological evidence that Dilophosaurus had a frill or that it spat venom. Pat says it's to pull vegetation to its mouth, if memory serves. I mean, that would make sense if it's got those long claws. I got in the way of Little John there as he's crawling around. If it like has those long claws and it can reach up and pull stuff down. Charlie says, insert pterodactyl screech here, spicy stabby baby. That is true. I have spooked, while I've been doing maintenance in Little John's tank, I have spooked him twice. He hides in different places. And almost got my hand the other day when I picked up his hide, and he wasn't under the hide. He was in the moss beside the hide. So as I pull my hand up, I see his tail go. I'm like, ah!
Honey, we're talking about raptors being your favorite.
Yeah. Sneaky, sir. Yes, he clever girled me pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Luckily, I didn't get stabbed yet.
Well, you said it wouldn't be too bad if he did, so.
It shouldn't be any worse than a bee sting. Shouldn't be, but I was actually talking to my boss at work about it, and it's like, will it though? Or will it be just really bad? Who knows? Dirty Rogue says, clever John. uh. Whew. Big beer.
Might be worth getting an EpiPen just in case, you know.
No, let it ride. I want to put the fear in myself. No safety net.
That's not what I want to hear.
I'll be fine. If I ever go, you can replace me with a large data model that...
I've already warned you. If I have to replace you, it's going to be with Bruce, and this entire channel is going to be a derpy cat.
We'll get even more views. If it's a derp cat. Pat says, favorite extinct thing is the dodo, though. Love ancient chickens. And Joe says they liked Pachycephalosaurus. Very cool. The Pompadour. Elvis. Kai says, yes, ancient dino chicken.
Well, technically, aren't they all?
Theoretically.
All right, you want to keep playing with dinosaurs, or you want to go on to our first question?
We can go on to let's go on to our first question.
Okay, remember, guys, in chat, please feel free to jump in. This is a chat and chill. Hey, there's Nicholas.
Nicholas Sims with the pterodactyl.
What about your little guy? What's your little guy's favorite dinosaur?
Little John?
No, Nicholas.
Oh, Nicholas Sims' little guy. Okay.
Yeah. I think Little John's favorite dinosaur is Sue.
Little John, what's your favorite dinosaur, little buddy? Is it your big brother? Practically is a dinosaur.
Okay. Chat, feel free to jump in anytime. Any questions, any comments. This is all of us. Sorry, wrong Nicholas.
Sorry, Nicholas Sims.
So any questions or comments, anything, throw them in. You guys are welcome anytime. From Stacy, we have, where do you guys get your news and why do you use those sources? And we've kind of actually just talked about this between us, changing up our intro a bit to spotlight some that we're actually using more and dropping off some that we've decided aren't as reliable.
Mm-hmm. Yep. That's a great question from, it was Stacy, you said?
Yeah. She's one of our VOD watchers that can't catch it live.
Nice. Yeah, so Stacy, we pull from sites like Industry Tap, Live Science, Positive.news, goodgoodgood.co is another huge one. Producer Donna does all of the article lookups, and she also vets all the articles, so you can probably talk a little bit better on that one, Donna.
Yeah, I usually start with a lot of the main news sources, but not ABC, NBC. I try to go with the ones that are more neutral, like AP News, CBC. I get a lot of, for U.S. news, I'll look at outside sources. So what are people seeing who are looking from the outside in? So I'll pull things from BBC and some of these different sources that aren't necessarily paid for a certain skew one way or the other. I'll look at NPR. For our science and tech, I go a lot with SciTech Daily, Industry Tap, Scientific American. Popular Science is a great one. I use a lot of those for our science, our medical. Let's see, who else? Good News Movement. has a lot of good ones for environmental and our wholesome notes.
That's a more recent one too, right?
Good News Movement, yeah, they don't publish as often as the others. The others will give me usually weekly updates, like a weekly magazine that pops up. Some of them are daily, like Good is daily, but Positive News does a once a week big bump. Good News Movement is usually once a month or once every 3 weeks, so they're kind of hit and miss, but they usually have some decent stuff.
Nice.
Reasons to be cheerful. Go ahead.
I also want to ask the chat right now if they're catching any of a echo, because I'm forgetting something that we did with the last chat and chill where I had that earbud in so that I could hear you, but I didn't have it coming out of my speakers. And I've got it coming out of my speakers right now, so I want to make sure it's not coming in as an echo to chat. So let me see what chat says. I noticed that the Yeti's going each time, so it's like, ooh. Nico's saying they don't hear it, so that's good. Okay.
Okay. Hey, this crew can hear your clock ticking, so I trust their judgment if they can't hear an echo.
That's true. I have to find a new spot to put the clock up because I had to move a whole bookshelf to fit this new table in. And so now that bookshelf went over there, the clock is gone. I gotta put a new hole in the wall. All right, sorry, I didn't mean to derail you. I wanted to double check that sound situation.
I think that was pretty much all of it. A lot of our wholesome notes come from good, nice news, good.is. Some of these are newer to me sites, so I double check them with other sources. And especially anything off of Facebook, I always double check for other alternate sources. Like this week, it's going around that Keanu Reeves has opened up a pet sanctuary, or animal sanctuary, $1 million animal sanctuary. There is no record of it anywhere else except Facebook and Instagram, and that means it's a bot. There's no way I would love to include something like that on Wholesome Notes, but it's not real. And we get the same thing with, football player just bought out an entire block and is turning it into low-income housing. Okay, except it's not real, So, yeah, we double-check a lot of things that we really wish we could report on that aren't true.
Yeah. It's a lot of vetting. We want to have true news because, good news needs to be true news. So,
yeah.
Back when I started doing this in 2016, I was only pulling stuff off of goodnewsnetwork.org, but over time, they've become less and less reliable. So we're, finding a bunch of other places though that are doing the same thing we want to do, which is just getting good news out. So, good.co is especially one of my favorites.
Yeah, unfortunately, Good News Network, there's enough good news out there that I don't think you have to rewrite bad news and slant it.
Yeah.
I don't know why they're taking this route. I do notice that they've added another writer onto their lineup. Same last name, so I don't know, maybe a spouse or a sibling got involved as well. I don't know. I don't know why they're doing this, but yeah, they've had to you drop down off of our list. But we've dropped others too. We used to go with Sunny Skies, and
Oh, yeah.
but they don't credit any of their sources.
Which is a big
So
no-no in journalism.
yeah, and they don't even credit their authors. So we don't know who wrote it. We don't know where they got the information. Um, things like that. There's enough crap in this world. We don't want to be passing it off to you guys. We want you to actually be able to rely on us for something real.
Yep. Good question. Very good question.
But yeah, there's a whole list. Who I go through is kind of dependent on what I'm looking for. Like if you guys have sent in a whole bunch of animal stories for the week, well, I don't have to go to my animal sources for those, you know? But we do love getting stuff from you guys. So, like
Yeah.
Eliza sent us in 3 articles this week that I'm hanging on to, and I'll check those out, double check them, make sure their sources are good. And those will start hitting in January when we start back up with good news.
Yep.
So we do love getting stuff from you guys.
So, yeah, thank you all again for the stuff you send in.
You're definitely one of our sources.
Yep. Yeah, y'all are a source.
I know some of you send in things like from the Smithsonian. We don't cover New York Times and things like that. And a lot of those are because they're locked behind a paywall.
Yep.
And while it's not too big a deal for, this one viewer to be subscribed to Smithsonian, for us, we'd have to be subscribed to 15 of them. And we're just not going to do that.
Yeah.
Not yet.
Yeah, not yet.
Maybe when our budget gets bigger.
Plus, I want folks to be able to go and take a look at the article at their leisure. And if it's locked behind
Exactly.
a paywall, that's a huge no-no. Because then you've got to go fishing around for another version of it. So we just tend to do the work for you on that one.
Yeah.
Good question from Stacy. Stacy, thank you very much for asking that question. Cheers. Oh, it's a big beer.
Still good, huh?
Oh, it's a big beer.
I'm
Can't wait
so
for
glad we
next
didn't
week.
plan TikToks afterwards.
Oh, next week is going to be crazy.
Yeah, we gotta get those done in advance.
Yep.
All right, from Sarah. We have, if you received a $1 million grant for independent broadcasters, what would you do with the money?
If we received $1 million grant for what was that again? Independent broadcasters?
Independent broadcasters.
If we received $1 million grant for independent broadcasters, I would go so hard on Nick's News. It would be unbelievable. Most of that money would go to producer Donna for everything that she's done. And then it would go to actually getting a studio. I think with a grant like that, I would put money into revamping a room or renting a place that can serve as a studio, doing new equipment, a new layout, not doing it in the study like I have here. I would incorporate things from this place into that studio, obviously, because part of the allure of Nick's News is that this isn't a big production, and I don't want to turn it into something like The Daily Show or anything like that. Obviously, I want it to have that that local production, that I'm doing it in my spare time kind of feel. But I definitely would blow it up to $1 million. I think that would be a huge thing to make Nick's News even bigger. And probably an absolute metric ton of advertising. Like more so than we do right now.
Yeah, we would do a lot of advertising. I think I would like to, yes, I agree completely, getting you a new studio set up.
with like
And I
professional
do think,
cameras, not a webcam. It would be actual
yeah.
like TV cameras.
And I would like to set it up to be multiple sets,
Oh
because
yeah.
we do eventually want to do interviews.
Yep.
So I would like to have at least two rooms, one for our regular broadcast, set up for our regular broadcast, and then another one which is a more of a chat and chill type setting where we can have interviews and have other people on with us. Maybe share the space with, get some of these people in that guy that was visiting each state,
Yep. And doing
and
the food
volunteering in
pantry.
each state. I would love to get interviews with people, do things like that and promote them and what they're doing, and get people on,
Yeah. I would love to interview some of the heroes that we've had.
yeah.
Some of the people that have pulled. I'm going to blank on names, sadly, because I usually, I've got them for the article and I don't keep the names, but I'm thinking of like the young man that went and saved a woman when her house caught fire. We had a couple of those where houses caught fire and people rushed into house fires to save people.
Mm-hmm.
Any of them. Yeah, the gentleman who's touring the country, just doing food pantries. I would have loved to have a chance to sit down with him.
And even local charities, like we talked about the
Cat Cafe. I'd love
Cat
to have the Cat
Cafe
Cafe
and
owners.
the art exchange, the crafters exchange. There's so many. Even having people in to talk to them about Meals on Wheels.
Yep.
And get firefighters in there to talk to us. Okay,
Yep.
hey, this is National Change Your Smoke Detector Battery Month.
Yep.
Talk to us.
Steve from Tesla Tree Service would be an amazing one.
Oh, he would be amazing. Yeah.
Steve would
Yeah,
be
I'd love to
great.
get Steve in, and
Spencer from SB Mowing would be another amazing
Mhm.
one to do an interview with about, the different charities and their different activities and the things they do. So, yeah, that'd be a huge one, would be to take that money, make a studio, make a Nick's News studio, and be able to have interviews and expand the program. So, and pay producer Donna a lot of money.
That would be nice. That would be really nice. I don't need a lot of money, but yeah, getting paid for what I do would be good.
We'll pay her a lot of money. We'll pay her a lot of money.
But yeah, a big chunk of it would end up going for advertising.
Yeah, that's
There's only so far we can rely on, ask you guys to do. We ask you every week to hit the thumbs up and to like and share and all of that, and
Yep.
it only goes so far.
But it keeps going.
And-
Cue the Halo music, because we hit 117 subscribers on YouTube.
Oh yeah, every time you guys help. Everything you guys do helps us. In fact, whoever kicked TikTok in the ass last month really helped.
Yeah.
Hey, Becky.
Hey,
Oh,
Becky.
good. I was worried about you.
So, yeah. That was a great question from Sarah. Pat says, yes, finally remembered to subscribe tonight. So Pat was our 117th subscriber. Congratulations, Pat. You win nothing but a vocalization of me trying to do the Halo music. Cheers.
Tell you what, our 500th person gets a prize. How's
Our
that?
500th subscriber gets a prize. Oh, boy. An unparalleled treasure, says Pat. Yeah, so from Sarah, that's a great question. Thank you very much, Sarah. Cheers.
And I'm going to throw a personal congratulations out. That is the same Sarah that is battling breast cancer for the second time.
Cancer.
And she is
Fuck
finally down
cancer.
to single-digit times of chemo.
Oh, good.
She has less than 9 I think 9 visits left, 9 injections left.
Very
so,
cool.
Yeah.
Hoping
Way
the
to
best
go.
hoping the best for Sarah. So, beat cancer, Sarah. Beat cancer.
Okay, our next one is from a smartass who knows he's a smartass and did this on purpose because he is a smartass.
Okay.
What is your spirit animal? LOL. Thanks, Brian.
Brian asked me what my spirit animal is. Part of that, there's a cultural appropriation part to that I'm not a fan of. What's a different way to put it? I don't know what a different way to put that is. My animal totem,
That works. I like totem.
my animal symbol. My brother Eric says a dung beetle. No, Eric, it would not be a dung beetle. Close though. Lucky animal. I like that. Nico said, "What is a lucky animal?" My lucky animal. Well, it's probably a praying mantis. They've been my favorite insect ever since I learned they existed. They don't live for very long, but they burn very bright, and they do amazing things. Obviously, I'm not like that. I live a very long time. I plan to live a very long time and do a lot of amazing things, but I think they're just so cool, and there's something captivating about them. They're what got me into bug husbandry. So, praying mantises would be my lucky animals. What's yours, producer Donna?
Today
Nico
is
guessed
very
correctly.
much squirrel. I have not been able to focus on a damn thing today. In general, I'm very much bear. Leave me alone.
A bear?
Yeah.
Any specific type of
Especially
bear?
when winter comes along, it's,
Oh,
yeah, feed me and I'm just going to hibernate and I'm not going to talk to anybody and go anywhere until April when there's actual sunshine and just bugger off.
is it a black bear, a brown bear,
An angry bear.
an angry bear? Just an angry
You
bear.
mess with any of my crew and that's it. You're just done for.
All right. Nico guessed mine was a mantis, so they got that right. Pat says little penguin, also known as fairy penguins. Charlie gravitates towards owls and jaguars, but they themselves are a big orange cat. One brain cell. And everything else that comes with being an orange cat. That's cute. That is a great question. To Brian for that great question.
Brian.
After the wording changed.
Brian's one of those that. So, all right, you guys, ask us anything, and okay, he has to come up with something smart ass.
Thanks for the smart ass question, Brian. It was a good question.
Oh, Becky.
Oh, Becky's is
That's
a
awesome.
swallowtail butterfly. Fantastic. I love those things. I still want to see a Luna moth. I've never seen a Luna moth in real life, and I really want to see one. Pat says fairy penguins are blue. Interesting.
I think the Butterfly Conservancy up here has got one, so
Oh, really?
might have to have you come through sometime. I don't know if they're open right now, so might have to wait until spring.
Okay.
But it's over by Niagara, so it's not a big deal. We'll kidnap you for an afternoon or two.
Sounds fine. Charlie says they're gorgeous, also huge. They tickle so much. Good question. I mean, can Godzilla be my lucky animal? Because if that's the case, got a ton of Godzilla. You know, I'm not obsessed with Godzilla. No, not at all. Dirty Red
right.
says waffles.
If you're going to claim Godzilla, I'm claiming Smog.
Smog. All right. Becky says a unicorn in that case.
See, okay.
Yep.
All right, we're going to open it up. Doesn't have to be a real animal. Go for it, guys.
Godzilla, Smog, unicorn. Sir Chester Cheeto Puffington Esquire the Third, says Charlie. Okay. Charlie says Mothra. Yeah, it's open. Nico says, rawr. Owl bear, ice knights.
Hey.
Will says owl bear. Oh no. We established earlier that an owl bear is just a Utah raptor. Joe's is a dragon. Nice.
Hey, Steve.
That was a good one.
All right, I have one more if we're done. Oops.
How many more questions do you have?
I have just one.
Oh, just one more that was sent in?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What's up, Steve?
It's kind of serious, though. Are you sure you're up for it?
Yeah, we can end on a serious question.
Okay. Unless chat has anything for us.
Yeah, and chat, it doesn't have to be done with just this question. If y'all have anything else you want to ask about, by all means, post them. We'll get to them. So we can run a little late. Look how much beer I still have to get through. That's a lot of 15.7% ABV to get through. I'm not going to chug this. All right, lay the serious question on me.
Okay, this is from Robert.
Okay.
Robert says, you see so much of the world's news.
Mm-hmm.
What is the one thing you think would make the most difference in the world?
Oh, wow.
I mean, obviously, we don't report on all the bad things, but we do see all the bad things going through the articles every week.
That's true. And I do consume a lot of news on a weekly basis. It's not part of my job. I'm a continuous improvement specialist at the company I work for. So it's not news related in any way, shape, or form, apart from like keeping my finger on the pulse of new technology for us. But I do watch a lot of news from a lot of different sources. I try to, because our news has definitely skewed and gone to the extremes almost. It's harder and harder to find middle ground news that's not sensationalizing in either direction. So in order to get the full breadth of the news, I have to check out all of it. And it can be rough. Like, it can hurt a lot.
That's why I go for the non-US sources, like
Yeah.
CBC and BBC.
Yeah, those are nice ones. So Robert's question, what would be the one thing that I want to see different? Or
what is the one thing you think would make the most difference in the world?
The most difference in the world. I think the one thing that could make the most difference in the world would be if everyone that was reporting on things could just tell the truth. In terms of the news, I think if we could get past the sensationalism and the weight of sensationalism and just tell the truth, I think that'd be the biggest, most positive and most impactful turnaround in media in the history of media.
It doesn't have to be about the news.
Oh, I mean, it'd still be the same.
Since we see so much of what's going on in the world, what do we think would have the most impact?
I still think it'd be being truthful.
Okay.
Compassion, having actual compassion would be another big one. It'd be another huge change. A lot of things that have gone on in the world as of late are done with a sincere lack of compassion for one another. And that hurts a lot to see, because we're one people on this planet at the end of the day. We're one species. And the kind of stuff that we do blows my mind. This lack of care and lack of love for one another. So if it's just everything in general, I would say the one thing that we all need and that could turn everything around is having compassion.
I'm going to say education.
That's a good one, too.
If you take a look at the countries with the highest ranking in education, you'll also see that they are the highest countries with social programs. And I think when people are able to see the big picture and capable of putting all the pieces together, compassion follows that. When you can see corruption, you vie away from that. And when you can see that helping homeless people isn't just getting them off the street, it's giving them opportunities to recover. And when you can start seeing that big picture, that's when I think real change can happen. And the more people who can see that, the faster big change can happen. And like with COVID, we're still fucking fighting COVID. How many years is it now? And
it's been a couple.
Right. And it's because, I was standing on my balcony one day and there's a group of people downstairs and one of them literally says, oh my God, this is going to piss me off just saying it. My cousin's aerobics instructor told her vaccines are dangerous, and she's a YouTuber, so she knows what she's talking about. And here we are. How many years later? How many generations of COVID later? Because people just won't deal with it. And here we are. Canada has just lost its measles status. We're no longer measles is no longer extinct in Canada, and the U.S. is only a couple of months away from the same losing its status. It's too much uneducated, reactionary nonsense influencing what's happening to us in the world today. And policies are being made on what's going to get the most, Twitter conversations and the most social media blow-ups, not by what's going to be the best decision for people, and I stand behind education.
Okay.
I think education is going to help a whole lot of everything.
Saw some stuff in the chat. Pulling from LARP, I'm going to say a little bit of hope would do some good from Pat. Charlie said free healthcare and universal free food / the proper distribution of food and goods. Be a good one. Nico said compassion is a huge one. Yes. Charlie said real empathy and care is rare these days. Becky said the number 5. Agent Smith asked, who is still fighting COVID? I mean, pretty much every country in the world is still fighting it. I still hear and see the numbers. We aren't having as many deaths, which is fantastic. Obviously, that has come way down, and we have new ways of fighting it, but there are still battles with COVID across the world.
The deaths just aren't being announced.
Oh, COVID, 5 years now, said Becky. Thank you, Becky.
Oh, yeah. We still have a great number of COVID deaths, but they're all elderly, and nobody reports on that.
I mean, that still sucks.
Yeah.
Pat also said, maybe a bit grander or conceited, but forgiveness and letting go of grievances. Death begets death, and all that. I really like that one, too. There's something, I call it the Midwest grudge, and I just don't understand it, but, yeah, being able to just kind of let stuff roll off the shoulders and just keep on going, There's a lot of things we could do.
A lot of that is based on fear. Hey, Yave.
Hey, Yave. Yeah, and so I think there's a lot of different answers to that one for sure, but it is a good question. So, Robert, thank you very much for asking the tough questions. Cheers. Oh my gosh. Whew. Oh, that burn is good. Any other questions, anyone? That was it for the ones that y'all sent in, and those were great questions, by the way. So it's really good to hear some of the, especially getting asked the hard questions. Like I'll never shy away from the hard questions, because again, that ties into what I said before with honesty and just being honest. So, part of that comes with there's gonna be reviews, and there's gonna be you're gonna get hit with odds and ends like that. So. Becky says, I finished off my bottle of brambleberry wine last night, and it looked just like that. like this. Like the darkness. Will says, if you could visit any single place in the world for a week, where would you go? So, the Italian side of my family comes from Calabria. I would probably go to Calabria for a week. I would probably like to go to, I've never been to Italy. I'd like to go to Italy. It is on my to-do list to go, and not when I'm much later in life. It's to go while I'm still fit and young. And I think a week in Calabria would be amazing. So, see if I can get there in the next 5 years. I think that'd be a fantastic goal to set, would be to go to Italy in the next 5 years. Thank you for asking that question, Will. Cheers.
I am a rock nerd, so I'm going to Hawaii for a week, and I'm going to go play in the volcano. I want to definitely do the helicopter ride up to the top, check that out. The olivine beaches. Hawaii is one of the few places in the world where you've got the green sand from olivine that olivine forms so very, very deep in the earth, it's hard to find it surface-wise. Set off a whole bunch of the rock hounds. Okay.
Alexander says the volcano is great. Rock hounds forever from Becky, and Nico says, say hi to Pele for me.
Yeah, I'm not going to say no to the scantily clad fire dancers either, but, you can't hang out all the time at the volcano. But yeah, there's a lot of very, very interesting geology going on around the Hawaiian Islands, and I would love to spend the time bouncing around to some of those different locations, not the standard tour, but a very geological tour would be awesome.
That'd be
neat. Do it in January when it's minus no way up here.
Right. Charlie says, Japan, South Korea, Europe in general, I'm a history nerd and have too many morbid fascinations. Will says, Japan would be awesome. Dirty Rogue says, bit of rogue lore. I have family that used to live in Hawaii, and I go to visit them and walk around on the cooled lava flow. That is really cool, Dirty Rogue. Yave Ann also asked, did I get that scorpion? I did. He's just not out right now. He has been dawdling around in this new tank, which is right here. So this is the new tank for Little John, the Emperor Scorpion, and that back there is Big Sue's tank.
But keep an eye on that tank, because he has been running around all evening.
He has been very active tonight. So
yeah.
We'll see if he comes back in before we finish things up.
Rogue, I grew up at the base of a volcano. So, yeah, it would be great. I grew up next to Mount Shasta in the Cascade Range, and that volcanic rock up there is andesitic. I would love to see the basaltic volcano differences, lava differences over in Hawaii. It would be neat. But yeah, lava flows are cool, very cool.
Yep. Yavian said, asked because I saw the new setup. Looks like it's time to expand into shelves. I debated doing shelves for them, but I bought a longer table. I didn't want to do shelves yet, because then if I do shelves, I can't do the same tank setups that I have. I would have to go to different setups. So right now it's more feasible to do a table and just show them all off together.
Cool. If we're doing a group discount to Ireland, I'm in. I'll go with you guys.
Group discount. We're all going to Ireland. We got to swim over a sinkhole. Couldn't see the bottom. Oh, jeez.
Oh, wow.
Dirty Rogue. That's scary. Good question. Who asked that question?
That was Will. That was Ice Knight.
Will, great question. Thank you, Will. Oh, look at the color of that.
All right, guys. What else you got? As long as we still have drinks in our cups, you've got us if you want us.
If you have any other questions. Yeah, man, I'd be so down for the UK in general. Europe is on the bucket list because I'm a huge antiques nerd, and they have so much of a richer history there. UK would be interesting. Dirty Rogue says I need another beer then. Alexander asks, around the house slippers or socks? Neither.
Barefoot.
I'm a barefoot.
Yeah.
I'm a barefoot man. I don't like wearing house slippers if I don't have to. And I don't like to wear socks. I wear them when I have shoes on, but otherwise, nope. Some of my favorite shoes, too, to wear come, like, summertime, or I've got a really good pair of Sperry's, like, just boat shoes that I don't have to wear socks with, so they're super comfortable. I keep them clean, obviously. You clean your shoes. You're supposed to clean your shoes. But, yeah, I don't, I keep my place really clean. Vacuum once a week. Mop floors, so I love being barefoot.
Becky's got a question for us.
Yeah, that is a really good question. But that was a good question about house slippers or socks. Thanks, Alexander.
Alexander, I'm going to rat you out. Alexander has got an affinity for very large canines.
Very large canines. All right, let's see.
Yes, of the very large Great Dane variety.
Oh, gotcha.
And I need new pictures. You haven't sent me pictures of the baby for a while.
I would like to see the baby. All right. Becky asked, let me scroll up here. What is your proudest moment? Wow. All right. That's definitely...
For life or for next news?
Yeah, narrow that down. I can answer both. I have no problem answering both. Life? Okay. I'll grab it. My proudest moment ever was when I decided, leading up to it, I decided to go back to school. In 2016, I decided to go back to college. I dropped out of college in 2007. I was not doing well, and the best course of action was to stop the bleeding and to drop out of college. And that was a tough decision, but one that had to be made. And in 2016, I decided to go back. And it really is something else. On August 6th of 2021, I was inducted into the Order of the Engineer via Grand Valley State University when I graduated with a Bachelor's of Science in Engineering, specifically focused on product design and manufacturing engineering. I became an engineer. And that was, without a doubt, one of the proudest moments of my life. I had decided to take on a degree that I had thought I couldn't achieve the first time around. And I said, you know what, I'm going to do it. And in 5 years, I became an engineer. So that is my proudest moment. I got to hang that back up. Oh, wrong way. There we go. And right next to my Order of the Engineer sheet is my diploma. My diploma's up on the same wall. So, yeah, that was something else for me. There's a lot of chat that I missed on that one.
Mostly
Dirty Rose,
pets.
we just did the Mando horn. Agent Smith has a pet carpet python that doesn't like them very much. That's funny. Becky says, great job. Thank you very much, Becky. I appreciate that. Alexander says, well done. Will says, hell yeah. Heck yes. Yavan says, snappies. So, producer Donna, what's your biggest accomplishment?
I don't know if I've hit it yet.
Oh.
I was thinking about all the different things that I've done.
Or proudest moment, sorry. It was worded as proudest moment.
I think I don't want to get too depressive here, but surviving is something I need to give myself a lot more credit for. That hasn't been a guarantee throughout my life, between a couple of near-death experiences and abusive ex and things like that. But for like a major accomplishment, it seems like each new thing I take on is bigger than the last thing I took on. So I'm not sure I've hit it yet. I'm not sure I've hit that top yet. You know, I've owned 2 radio stations, but from before that, I started in radio and TV, and things have just kept growing. And you know, I've run fencing tournaments of 350 people, which has taught me to be extremely organized and be able to take charge of events, and it all just keeps building to more and more. And to where I am right now, you know, I've got a full-time job, which is Nick's News, 2 part-time jobs, run the household, but I still don't feel like I've hit the top of what I'm going to do. It still just feels like it's building. So I'm not sure I really have one yet. You know, whatever I say is just temporary for what comes next.
Nick's News wins Daytime Emmy. Producer Donna to accept award. That'd be pretty cool.
4 security agents required to drag her out of the house to come accept the damn award.
Right. I am going to echo the sentiments of several people in the chat on that, though, Producer Donna. Sometimes surviving is the proudest moment. in your life, and it is worth celebrating. So I'm definitely glad you're here with us. And to your most proudest moment yet to come. How about that?
I like that.
Cheers. Oh, there it is. There it is. Yaveyan asks, what is your 2026 New Year's resolution? I don't do New Year's resolutions. I'm trying to remember the term.
I like the new trend where
Yeah.
there are rewards.
Oh, I'm
You
not
know.
familiar with that one.
The newest trend, which I really, really like, it's been going for the last couple of years, where instead of saying I'm going to lose weight or I'm going to stop doing this thing about myself that I don't like, it's things like I'm going to try every Italian restaurant in my town this year. Or I'm going to visit every bookstore in my town this year. Or I'm going to collect every whatever it is you like. You know, and it's these reward goals rather than these punishment goals.
I am trying to remember. There's a term, New Year's boasting, way more interesting if you know the concept. Pat says to not get hit by a car in 2026. Pat, that's a good one. I think of, it's not so much New Year's resolutions as it is intentions. What do I intend to do in 2026? I intend to hit more breweries in 2026 than I hit in 2025.
Holy crap.
I want to do more traveling across the country. I used to love just going anywhere. And I want to go and explore more breweries and more beer styles. So definitely for 2026, I intend to travel around more and hit more breweries, especially here in Michigan, where I reside. And I think it's a little vague. Oh, I really like the ones I'm seeing in the chat. Charlie's is no ER trips for me. Charlie, I hope that one succeeds for the whole of 2026. Pat says, haven't had luck with resolutions in the past 8 years. And you know what, Pat? That's okay. It really is. That's why I don't like it as resolutions, because sometimes we fall short when we make those kind of those ultimatums with ourselves. So don't make an ultimatum. Make an intention. What do you intend to do? Because with an intention, you don't have to pull it off in your first year. You just need to make sure that your goalposts don't move, and that you make progress. Just make progress towards something and call that your resolution or your intention. So I intend to hit more breweries. I'm going to try. So Dirty Rogue, I intend to start getting back into voice acting. We actually talked about this, and Dirty Rogue, I think you should. By all means, get into voice acting. Be more professional about it. Fantastic. Alexander's is to find more joy.
That means you're going to get another dog, right?
I mean, dogs bring joy. I think the two biggest ones for me is my first one is obviously like I stated, is to hit more breweries and explore more beer, but also to definitely better myself in some direction. I don't know what that direction is. I don't know if it's maybe build up my confidence and actually go out and look for a significant other, or maybe just working on Nick's news more. Something that I'll improve in 2026. And I may not have the best view of what it's going to be right now, but that doesn't matter. That's okay. I'm going to build it as I go. I love Robert Frost's The Road Less Traveled. I have meandered my way through life, and I have been very gifted for it. Both in the people that I've met and the experiences that I have accumulated. So, we'll see what 2026 brings as we keep on meandering. Producer Donna, what's your, do you have a resolution or an intention for 2026?
I think to streamline what I'm doing and not let myself take on more.
You heard it here first,
Right now,
folks. Nick needs to not heap more work on producer Donna.
No, it's not.
I'm kidding.
It's not you. It's me heaping more work on me, and I need to streamline what I do so that it's not as heavy all the time, so that I have a little bit more free time, and if that means getting things done far in advance, like a month or two in advance, so that I've got time to breathe and not stress about it. I need to lower my stress. Yeah. Not necessarily a health problem, but it's a mental health problem for me. I don't sleep as well as I should, and a lot of that is because my brain will not shut up. I lay there thinking about all the different things that I need to be doing, and I want to streamline my processes so that those things get done and my brain can shut up and let me sleep, or just have time to relax or chill out, and not doom scroll on Facebook.
That's another big one.
Yeah.
That's good. And I think the chat agrees 100% with you, Producer Donna.
Creative insomnia, yes.
Yeah.
I hadn't heard that term, but you are absolutely, that is exactly what it is. Yeah, and it helps sometimes for me to, I have a notebook next to the bed, and it helps sometimes to get up and just write these things down, list them out so that it's not just on loop in my head. Don't forget, don't forget, don't forget. It's written down. I won't forget. Okay, now can we shut up and go to bed? So, finding ways to find ways to relax a bit more is what I'm going to try to work on this year.
Nice one. Yave Ann, thank you very much for asking that question. Cheers. Charlie in there said, that means read your articles. Charlie, there's a reason I don't pre-read the articles. It's because y'all have so much more fun listening to me struggle bus my way through pronunciations of names of people from other cultures and the names that we have given to anything in science and medicine. Carboxylic acid, the names of different doctors that we've had, where I make an absolute jackass of myself trying to figure out how to pronounce it. It's in no way a slight to the people who do amazing things, but it is an aspect of the humor of Nick's News that I don't pre-read anything. So that when I'm actually going through into the article, it's the first time, and I'm gonna struggle bust through it, and I think I like doing that. Oh yeah, just for you, Charlie says, although it hurts a little bit hearing the Spanish, Charlie, just for you, I'm gonna butcher the Spanish language.
Oh, you guys have no idea how much he whines when I threaten him with any article involving Hawaiian words.
Yeah, Hawaiian words, Dutch or Polish words.
Oh yeah, the Dutch ones are great.
Yeah, the Dirty Rogue says the good old Nick's News full send, full bore and into the abyss, my friends. Will says, "What's that? 17 syllables? I nailed on the first try." 17 syllables? I nailed on the first try. 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 17 syllables? Yeah, man. I suffer from the same when working on projects. I have 2 historical ball gowns in the works and just got my sewing machines back from the repair shop. Rip my sleep schedule.
Yeah,
That is a
because you're going to be
fantastic...
planning. You're going to be planning patterns, and you're going to be planning seams and what needs to be done first, so that you don't screw that part up later or have to rip this out. And it doesn't stop. It just doesn't stop.
I think that is a fantastic intention then for 2026 for everybody would be to take a breath and give yourself the grace that you deserve to take a step back when you need to. I think that's a really tough one to do. But I know
It
you
is.
can do it.
I've been trying to find ways to do that this year because I just keep taking on more and more. And there's so much more that I want to do, especially with Nick's News.
Sure.
And
But you can't.
I just have to figure out how to take some of the weight off of what we're currently doing,
Sure.
you know?
Pat says, my brain can't shut up about lore. It thinks I need to type right at that moment. I have been typing enough these past 3 weeks to make my fingers hurt.
I get that way too.
Yeah.
If there's something that just won't leave my head, I get up and type it out.
Yep.
Stories, rants, whatever it needs to be. It's in your head and it wants out, so let it out.
Yep.
Yeah, I get
agree
it.
with that. Last question. We can take one more. If anybody's got a last question, otherwise I can go into the outro. It's up to y'all. Or producer Donna, if you've got a question.
No, I've too far into the bottom of my cup to have any questions left.
Yeah, man, rest in pretzels. Becky says I'm good. Those were amazing questions, both from the folks that sent them in, which many thanks to you, and of course many thanks to the chat and your questions, and your comments and your work with us. You know, it really is something else to see everybody engaged, to see everybody chatting. I've got the chat pulled way down, and I get to just scroll through a whole bunch of fun. It looks just like fun, so. It really is cool to me. Charlie says, if you could pick a superpower special ability, what would it be? Up to 2. I don't need 2. I only need 1. I actually thought about that. I've answered that question a lot of times for friends and in like little group settings when we've all been together. If I could pick a superpower, special ability, what would it be? It would be time manipulation, not the ability to turn back time. The choices that we make. And there's no redo. There's no undo. There's no Control Z. We make those decisions and we have to live with them. But there are beautiful moments in life that I would love to be able to pause. There are things that you see that happen in the blink of an eye. Or there are incredible times when you just kind of wish you could frame it. And taking a picture doesn't do it justice. And so the ability to pause time and take a moment and breathe and take in what's going on, I think would be an amazing power and one that I would respect the hell out of. Producer Donna, what's yours?
Well, if I can have up to 2.
Yeah, you get up to 2.
Okay, I want to be able to fly.
That's a good one.
I think shape-shifting would be good.
Shape-shifting would be really cool. Yavian says, complete mastery of all languages. Just completely rip down the speech barrier.
Oh, that would be awesome.
That's really cool. I love Pat's. The ability to reach to the side and say, beer me. And a random disembodied hand slaps a beer into your hand. Pat.
Unfortunately, it's only Coors Light.
No. Power ruined. Charlie says, not immortality, but longer life. And also wings. Becky says not to be invisible.
Becky, I see you. I've been worried about you.
Becky, I think everybody here sees you. I don't think you have to worry, at least in the Knicks News community, about being invisible. We all see you, and we all care about you. Yavean, and a personal pocket dimension with air in it. Joe says producer Donna's evil. Pat wonders if they just got monkey pawed. Having every beer that's... Pat got monkey pawed pretty bad on that one. Dirty Rogue says Blue Lantern abilities. That's...
Which one was the Blue Lantern?
That's Hope, if I remember right?
Oh.
Dirty Rogue, I think that's Hope. If it is, I can totally... Like, I've grown up with Ben. That is a perfect one for you. If Hope was your power, that's a good one, bud. Fueled by Hope. That's really cool. That's a good question. Who asked that question?
If you team up with the beer, maybe it won't be Coors Light.
True. Yes. If Dirty Rogue and Pat team up, perhaps Dirty Rogue can hope hard enough that Pat's beer isn't a Coors Light every time. That's a good one. Charlie, great question. Thank you for that question. The ability to revive a dying planet, says Dirty Rogue. Nico said, I would love to be able to inspire people to be the best version of themselves. Nico, you already do. So congrats, you already have your power. Yavean, you can hope for something better. You can with the power of hope. Actually, you don't have to have the power of hope. You just have to believe in hope.
Ice Knights is a good one, to be able to heal others.
Will's is very good. To be able to heal others. I think you can. I think it's interesting. We think of superpowers as supernatural things or more than what they are. But when you have ideas like that, to be able to heal others, to be able to hope, to be able to bring out the best in people, I think you already have that power. You just might not realize it. And that's okay. But maybe consider the reason you're thinking about that is because you already can do it, and you do.
Mm-hmm. And Will especially. I don't think you know how much you've helped me this past year. And how much I really appreciate knowing that you're there, always. So, you do help heal.
I like that Dirty Rogue says you can hope for it to not be pumpkin beer. Oh. Charlie says, I tend to think I heal with my food and sometimes my presence, I guess. You do.
You do.
You do. The fun thing, I do have these grand aspirations of Knicks News continuing to grow beyond what we are right now, continuing to add to our community, to the Knicks Newsies, having more people come in and join us, and try to carry on, the good news and the joy and the hope core that we're all about. Right now, it's really cool. I know so many of you personally. So I get to say these things where I know who you are. I've seen you do the things you say you want to do. I've seen you do them. So you're all really amazing and something else. And really, you all are superheroes. So, great question.
going back to the grant question.
You're making it sound like someone's applying for us to get this, if it exists.
If it does, they haven't told me, and I haven't filled out any forms yet. But
It'd be terrifying.
If this is real, you guys let us know, because we got to get some incorporation paperwork done first.
Right.
Don't just spring this on us, okay, guys?
Right.
Something I would like to see next news, talking about growth, not just numbers of viewers, but I would like us to be able to do things like what Spencer has just done.
Oh my gosh, do a for a nonprofit?
Yes.
Oh my,
yes,
I want to do a Nick's News nonprofit so much.
Yeah, I would really like to be able to not just report good things, but also do good things.
Yep.
You know, when we have, you know, almost every episode we have, and here's the GoFundMe to this thing, to this amazing thing, or here's the donations page to this amazing thing. You know, I would love to be able to send a donation from Nick's News to Battle Buddies for the veteran dogs, you know, and all these different really amazing things, and maybe start our own, you know, not just a donation in the name of, but actually doing some of these things ourselves. And looking at this community we have backing us, you guys are amazing, and I would love to give you guys an avenue to be part of us as well, you know, be able to do things too, not just report them and applaud them, but do things.
Yeah, a chunk of change would definitely go into an account to build interest that would be specifically for charities. And then doing Nick's News, like using Nick's News to do drives and to do support. We could do a beer fundraiser. Cheers for children. Oh my God. Charlie. Cheers for children. Dirty Rogue had opened that up with, Becky said I'd volunteer for that if you need a helping hand. Always great to hear. Dirty Rogue had said, Nick's News goes to a brewery in your state for insert charity here. And then it got followed up with, we could do a beer fundraiser. Cheers for children. We need to copyright that ASAP. I think Cheers for Children is a great one to end on.
Sure, I'll have to look up the state legalities of making sure we're not targeting children with alcohol.
No, I understand what you mean. And we do have, like over here in Grand Rapids, we do have Helen DeVos Children's Center. It's one of the most amazing children's hospitals in the country. I know there's like St. Jude's and some other ones for sure, but Helen DeVos Children's Hospital does amazing things for children. So that's a huge one, and for just any drive to help the youth of tomorrow. So that's a really good one. I think we can end on that one. This has been an amazing evening. This has been a phenomenal chat and chill. We're almost to 2 hours, so this has been something else. Becky says,
You're the one that picked the big beer.
That is true. My son had a heart surgery when he was 3.5 years old. He's 17 now, but Helen DeVos is awesome. Thanks, Becky, for telling us that one. That one is good. I think that's about it for tonight. So, thank you all again for tuning in or catching the replay on the Nick's News YouTube page. Again, we're live every Sunday, and our next episode will be on December 28th of 2025. It will be our year in review. So kind of another chill episode. We won't be doing any articles, but we are going to go over the numbers for 2025 and the future of Nick's News as well. So as we continue to grow and continue to look to the future. We encourage participation, so if you feel inclined, by all means, send in suggestions for news brews, shout-outs, news quotes, and of course, good news articles that we can present on future episodes. If you send us a bunch of articles, try to spread them out across the 4 categories we usually go over, which are science and technology, health and medicine, flora and fauna, aka plants and animals, and wholesome notes, the really nice touchy-feely articles we tend to end on, which tonight, this whole episode has been a wholesome note. It's been an ode to everyone and a thank you, and a great time to just chat and chill. So you can message us on Facebook.
Kind of our Christmas party.
What was that?
It's kind of our Christmas party.
Yeah, this is kind of our Christmas party, isn't it?
With
this
our friends that we just absolutely love.
Yep, this is our Christmas party, and then our year in review is going to be our New Year's Eve party, effectively. You can message us on Facebook or Instagram, or you can email us at somebudgetstudios@gmail.com. Links are in the description of the video. Feel free to like, subscribe, comment on our content across all of our platforms, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok, so we can continue to get good news and the Hope Core stuff we promote out into the world. If you're looking to contact us about SEO improvements or advertisements, we're not interested. Y'all continue to drive Nick's News. Thanks to Pat today, we hit 117 subscribers on YouTube, which is absolutely phenomenal. We continue to grow. It's all word of mouth. We do minimal advertising. So all of our growth, all of our expansion over this last year, which we'll go over with the numbers, has been something else. So thank you all again. As always, thank you again. I love you all. Have a great night, and we will play you out.